Alright, so I'm here to make another video using the TC Electronic Plethora X5 and some of my test boards that I use here. So today, going in alphabetical order, now puts us at the Century Noise Gate. So I've got two set before the tone stack and the Plethora, and the Simplifier, and then these last three are set in the loop. I'm plugged in stereo, but I don't think it really makes a big difference on it or anything. So you can probably hear there's a little bit of just resting guitar noise sitting there. If I turn up the gain a little bit, yeah, there it becomes a little more apparent. So let me just run through these. I've got a few of the different tone prints loaded into these different spots, and I'll just kind of let you see the difference there. So first one, again, doesn't make a difference as much as what I'm really playing, but that's my sound. Obviously that's still going. Let's see what the decay is like though. Okay. That takes a little while, but it does quieten up when I kind of put my hand on the strings there. So that's a nice one in that spot there. Let's check out the next one. Sounds like it might be a little bit more aggressive. Just gonna let it ring for a second. Yeah, see, that dies off a lot faster. And if I turn it off, see, the note's still going. Okay, and noise gates, they can make a big difference whether it's going into it or not, or going into your amplifier, or if it's in the effects loop. Like right now, there's still a little bit of sound, and that's because my guitar is being muted, but the amplifier that I'm running into is not. So if I like turn up the gain some more, the noise gate is before that, so that's why I still hear that sound that you're hearing there. So let's adjust this back there. Obviously, if I play, it goes away. So that's a little bit tighter than the other one. It does kill the notes a little less naturally, so just something to consider. I know people that actually run like, I don't know which one comes where, but they have a Boss NS2 noise suppressor in their signal chain, but then also a decimator in their signal chain, and one of them is before the amplifier and one of them is in the effects loop, and it's a really, really tight, chunky tone that he's able to get out of that. So let's check out some of the post sounds. All right, so got that sound. You can see it goes away a little, but on these, now the sound completely goes away. So that's kind of cool. Let's try them out just a little bit here. So, let's see how long it goes. I don't like that kind of little sound that you might be hearing there. I'll see if I can get that to happen again. That, not the big fan of that. This is a pretty powerful noise gate, and I think that with different guitars it can make a difference too. So right now I'm using my LTD with active EMGs, and it's probably demanding a lot more work of the noise gate than say my Telecaster might, or something in between there. So it is probably important to have a little bit of control across each of these. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. This is that third one I did was the gatekeeper one. This is the high gain gate. Let's see what it does. Yeah, get some of that sound there where it's confused. Or is it still sustaining if I turn it off? And then this last one is the smooth gate. Let's see how smooth it is. Still got that sound to it there. I kind of like what the high gain gate one does, but let's maybe try this. I'm going to flip it by holding down these two spots. I'm going to swap 2 and 4, putting the high gain gate before the tone stack. All right, they switched. Let's see if it does anything different here. So this is before all the distortion you're hearing and everything. A little bit more natural in that spot there. So just something to consider with that. The Boss NS2 I was talking about, this is mine that I've had for a long time. The threshold is maxed out. The decay is just above minimum. And you know, I know this one probably isn't as powerful as this one, but it's more of a set it and forget it type of pedal I've found, where I kind of have to adjust and tweak the threshold quite a bit from guitar to guitar, even for this. So I haven't used the standalone version of the Sentry, so I can't compare it to the Plethora version, but I know that that's something I'm always kind of balancing out there. And on this test board here, I don't actually have what I probably need to get the most out of it. So let me do that for you. I'm going to go to Edit, Settings, Board, Hot Knobs, and then for each one of these, I'm going to assign the threshold here. And hopefully, if I set it on one, you know, like if I'm using the threshold for all of these and I'm using the same guitar, then ideally I should just need to set it for one of these and it will be the same for all of them. Okay. I skipped one somehow. There we go. Still a pretty quick process. All right, so now just look across these. So pretty similar settings across them. Obviously, over here on the side, you have your default tone print, and then I've got a few different ones loaded in here. Not a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different tone prints, and I've got 5 slots there, so you know, I don't think there's quite as many for this one. And when I talked about the Mimic pedal, that's another thing I'd like to see too with that one, is maybe some custom tone prints specific to artists. Can you imagine having James Hetfield's rhythm doubling that you could get going there? That could be kind of cool. Or something mimicking Randy Rhoads or Dimebag Darrell solo doubling there. Just a request from myself, something I would think was pretty cool there. Let's go back to the play. So now with this knob, the threshold knob, what I'm going to do is find the spot. You hear that? Where there's no signal. And then it's kind of sitting there ready. So I'm going to kind of back it up and just a little bit below that. At that threshold. So once it reaches that point, is it going to drop off quick? Is it going to stutter? I feel like that's much better than it was before. It's just the high gain gate. Now that one's still pretty quick. Gatekeeper. Still got a little bit of that sound there. Not really crazy about that. Also on these, let's maybe consider the dampening and the decay too. So let's have the dampening up higher and the decay down lower. I'm just going to do that across each of these. Yeah. Let's try that again. Oh, see that now. So this one is on. I'm getting no signal. So let's see what's going on with that. Is the amount of dampening that I'm getting? Where's the decay? I was adjusting the wrong one, looks like. Okay, so the decay. The decay is affecting the gatekeeper drastically there, so I can't have it all the way down. So the decay is how fast that gate is closing. CM threshold, yeah, put it around there. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. This is the broadband gate. That was kind of cool, right there at the end. Okay, and smooth gate. Okay, so this is another one where the decay seems to be making more of a difference there. So decay wasn't making as much difference on the broadband gate. Had it set low. But on this one, it's not. Yeah. I gotta turn the decay up to at least there. I like that kind of burr sound that it's doing there before it dies off. Not that that's something I'm really going for or anything, it's just kind of funny. Back to the gatekeeper. Let's try these other ones out. Okay, so another one, the high gain gate. It's not liking that decay too low. Alright, so again, I think that it's a good noise gate, but it's one that's very specific to the guitar that you're using, so it can behave very differently. So maybe what I'll have to do in the future would be a shootout with some different guitars with different pickup setups to see how it responds differently to them. And then I'd also like to make a video at some point comparing the noise gate Century to the Boss NS2, which again I think is more of a set it and forget it pedal. One big advantage that I have to having these, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the noise gate on here itself, it's great that it can be included at so many different settings across the 128 boards that you have available here. And a lot of the ones that I have set up for playing live, I'm really using like a specific guitar for those set of songs. So it's a little easier for me to have it worked into a set like that. It's a little different if I'm just taking the time and showcasing things and not saying like, okay, I need it for this exact sound. So yeah, I mean, I could go on and be trying to be in search of the perfect noise gate for you till I find it, but I hope that I've showcased a little bit of the features of it and helped give you an idea of if this is the noise gate on here is the way to go for you, or if you prefer some of the other ones, or just how it sounds in the effects loop versus before it. So I'll go ahead and wrap this one up, but I'll keep on going with these. The next board that I'll be looking at, ooh, fun, will be the Octave right there. So that'll be a fun one. Again, I will see you guys then, and have a good one till then. Thanks.